Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. We surely appreciate it here on 100 Yards of Football. Special thanks to our producer today, Mr. Logan Landis, for making it happen. Today's video is our 2024 NFL Draft prospect, Cooper DeJean, cornerback out of the University of Iowa. So if you like the video one more time, please come in and share it. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. And joining me today is one of the most talented writers covering the 2024 NFL Draft. He writes for FirstRoundMark.com. He comes out of the beautiful state, the Rocky Mountain High state of Colorado. I call him the Bob Denver of the 2024 NFL Draft, the very talented Mr. William Yanish. So, one more time, if you like the video, please come in and share it. Mr. Yanish, how you doing today? And tell us about the young man out of the University of Iowa, Cooper DeJean, cornerback out of Iowa.
I'm doing great. And, this is one that I usually don't do cornerbacks. I specialize in quarterbacks and tight ends and linebackers, But Cooper DeJean, it just came up, and I was just thoroughly impressed. He's 6'1", 207 pounds, out of Iowa. And, he is just an athlete, a great athlete, multiple sport, track. He's done, played basketball. He was a quarterback in high school, and I was just, like I said, thoroughly impressed. And, so it was college football with him, he was a unanimous All-American this year. And he's just a guy, he plays cornerback, and a lot of GMs are probably going to talk about him moving to safety or, in the slot. But, he plays outside. And, he is also one of the best punt returners, probably the best in the last 2 years in the entirety of college football. He is very, very talented. He is a threat to score like every time he touches the ball. What I like to call with a defensive player, like catch radius for wide receiver, I like to call this like striking distance. It's for defensive backs and linebackers, and just what they can do, how far they can get in a short amount of time, what they can do, their ball skills, and everything else. And this guy just seems to have it all, and he had 5 picks in 2022. He took 3 of them back, setting a record. He had 3 punt return touchdowns in the past couple of years. This kid is actually only 20 years old too right now, and he's coming out of the draft. And I put a premium on football IQ. How smart someone is, and this guy has it all, and he understands the game. His instincts are just crazy good, and I fully expect him to be picked at the end of the first round by someone, anywhere between 20 and 32. That's where I have him rated. And the more I got into watching him, just the more there was to like. He is just an all-around player.
When you think about Cooper DeJean, and you brought up a good point, Mr. Yanish, is his size. He's 6'1", 207 pounds, playing the cornerback position. But when I look at the gentleman's skill set, I look elite athlete, A+, and then I'm looking at the speed. You got to have speed to play the cornerback position. He's run 11.16 in 100 meters. Then you're looking at as a cornerback, great length, A plus. He's got the great initial burst coming out of his stance, A plus. Outstanding recovery speed as a cornerback, A plus. Gap closing speed as an A plus. Being able to come up, read, diagnose, and come up and making a hit. He's an excellent tackler to be a cornerback, A plus. Smooth in his back pedal, A plus. The ball skills off the charts, A plus. Very versatile. Eventually, he's coming into the draft as a corner and he's going to probably play in the league the first couple of years as a cornerback, but I can see him moving to safety and having a Pro Bowl career. Then he's very tenacious as a football player. And then most of all, physical as a cornerback. And then you think about all the great football players defensively that's played at Oregon, from Alex Karras to Andre Tippett to Chad Greenway to Bob Sanders, Super Bowl champion with the Indianapolis Colts, and then the neck man, who used to really irritate me, Merton Hanks with the San Francisco 49ers. And one thing that I think about Mr. DeJean is this year is that he was consensus All-American first team, all Big Ten first team. He had over 120 career tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 7 interceptions. As we talk about his great ball skills, as you said, as a punt returner, he returned 3 for touchdowns in his career. Then he had 15 pass defense as a cornerback. But what I'm going to take away, the 2023 game film against Michigan State, he was on Broadway, George Benson, Neon Lights, how he returned that punt in the fourth quarter, 70 yards against Michigan State. And in that game, he had 6 tackles. He was what I call a neon light on Broadway, George Benson. Final words about Mr. Cooper DeJean, Mr. William Yanish III.
He is, like I said, just a football player and a really good one. You know, he can line up anywhere, and he should go have a good career. You know, I even thought about the end of the first round and having San Francisco snag him. I mean, he just has everything there is, and his football IQ is just off the charts. So,
my final words about Cooper DeJean, I'd like to give special thanks to our producer today, Mr. Logan Landers, for making it happen. One of the most talented guys covering our social media here at 100 Yards Football. And to our audience, we like to say, very thankful. We're very thankful and very be blessed to our audience. I think about Cooper DeJean. I think about one football player, and this gentleman played at the University of Georgia. His name was Scott Warner on that 1981 National Championship team. He's got a lot of Scott Warner in him. And when you look at this young man, the size is excellent. I predict he's going to be a guy that's going to play in the National Football League for a long time out of the University of Iowa. Cooper DeJean here today on 100 Yards Football. Special thanks again to our guest. I call him Bob Denver of the NFL Draft, Mr. William Yanish. Y'all be blessed here on 100 Yards of Football. I'm Vincent Turner.